everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Like Queen Lisa, and this is my beautiful, wonderful mother, Crypto Nana for LTC. If you're not following her on Twitter, please go follow her on Twitter. I've heard she tweets like a 40-year-old.
Rumors.
We love rumors. Most of all, happy Friday to everybody. Where we always RED. Remember, everyone deployed. So if you're not wearing something red, drinking out of something red, do something to make your face turn red, because we always remember everyone deployed, and we're grateful for our military that protects us and serves our country, and their great families that participate in that and sacrifice as well. So cheers to the United States military. And I think Westwood's here today. He's been seeing some signs everywhere. There's a big sign this weekend. There's a huge eclipse, and we're going to be talking about that and some other signs you might be seeing.
We saw some garage sale signs.
We did see some garage sale signs. We'll be right back right after this with Clint Westwood. Jump in the live chat and join our community there. Welcome. Happy Friday, Westwood.
Happy Friday to two beautiful young ladies. I got my red straw.
He's so full of it.
Oh, nice.
Some red background stuff.
There you go.
Beautiful sign.
Your cheeks are a little red. You've been mowing?
I did go out and mow for a little bit because it's been dry, but the ditch, I mean, it's in the shade, so I cut that off and just kind of mowed some spots where it was shaded, and I got a little bit of sun. If I shave this off, I'd be pale underneath. So now I can't get rid of it now, because I have a massive tan line, You're
fully committed. Yes.
I'm in. I'm going back.
I like it too. Yeah. I think it's good.
I haven't trimmed it. I mean, well, I do trim a little bit here just to kind of figure out where I want it, but I haven't trimmed this part, so it's still wild. I'll have to shave it down.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, so maybe I'll keep it going for the next 2 weeks, and we'll see what happens. I'll just let it grow. Wild and crazy for happy hour, live.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And it's good to try new things and change things up, and you can always reinvent yourself. Sometimes we get stuck in a rut, or we think people see us a certain way, or we think we have to present a certain way. But we are only beholden to ourselves and to be true to ourselves. So reinvent yourself. Part your hair on a different side tomorrow.
Poison ivy helped him reinvent himself.
Yeah.
See, you got to look at the bright side of everything, because I wouldn't have grown it if I hadn't gotten whatever ivy infection, that I got.
Usually with fall coming and wool shirts, that good stuff, I think it'd be great.
Yep.
Woodsman look.
Roll with it.
That's right.
Well, Mom and I had that conversation today. I guess we were listening to your video.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, choices in our life, and even choices that, might seem like
you thought it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Like this pivotal point, I made this terrible mistake and chose this, but here I am.
And
you're here. So it can't be that terrible if you made it this far. That's how I look at things. I have to, because I wouldn't be having the experience I'm having now and being happy like I am now if I hadn't done all those things that might have seemed mistakes in the past. Yeah. But if I changed one little thing, I might not even be here. I could be somewhere else. I might not have ever made a video. I might not have ever met Lisa. I might have never met you. You just don't know. And so I ain't changing anything. It is what it is. Got me here. So anyway.
Well, and the whole win or learn thing that Charlie talks about, like, to me, it's our choice to take every experience that we have, and you don't ever have to be a victim of it. You can either win from it, or you can say I learned from that. Yeah. Or someone else can see it as a failure. Nope, that was something I learned from, and now I could, because I can see it as something I learned from, I don't have to repeat it. But if you say, "Oh, I'm a victim of it," guess what? You're probably going to have to repeat that.
Right. I 100% agree with that. Yeah, I mean, the world, the universe, this cosmos that we live in will come at you hard if you don't make changes. If you're stuck in a rut and you keep kind of doing the same thing, making the same mistakes, repeating them, at some point a tornado is going to come along. Something's going to jack you out of that situation. And it might be a person, it might be an event, nature, an act of nature, whatever it is, you're going to get knocked off that path and forced to do something or you can avoid that and make the changes yourself internally and realize, what, I'm not doing the right thing. I should probably do this better. But if you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, I think, you get smacked upside the head sometimes. You're forced to make that change. And so it's all for a reason. It really is. And so, it can be a soft blow or it can be, a knockout blow. And I just really believe that everything does happen for a reason. Yeah,
for sure. I know, even things.
And accept it and embrace it. I mean, really eat the pain, like Cliff says, just take it on and get through it. And then you'll look back and say, I'm glad I went through that. I really am, and it's a purification thing. I mean, it really is, you kind of purify yourself and you get that clarity of, I never would have moved. I never would have done it. And then now I'm going, I'm glad I did it. Something forced me to do it,
Well, and
yeah.
Thinking about what you were talking about on your video today about the magic bus stop or the cosmic, not the magic.
I know. I always say that too.
Cosmic
Got it
bus
right
stop,
today, though.
which is one of my favorite lessons that you taught me during a really, difficult lesson in my life. And it taught me to have some compassion for somebody that I was pretty angry at in the moment, and be grateful to have gratitude for that person taking on that role in my life, because they were taking on something that I'm grateful I didn't have to take on that burden for us to have that experience together, because their role was actually significantly more challenging in my eyes. I got to walk out of that in a different way. And so, but you were talking about the cosmic bus stop and how we have these experiences together and we sign up for this, but I'm sorry, this dog is over here making all this damn noise. This
It's not too bad.
Annoying dog. Anyway, I mean, we really love her, but it's Mom's dog. She's the
I gathered that.
Your dog.
Mom's like, your dog's doing it too.
She's at the other end of the tug of war.
They're both bad. They're all bad. They're all naughty. Anyway, I'm sorry. You know what I was talking about. Take it from here. It was the perfect kind of thing where we're having that talk about the cosmic bus stop and how, we go through life and we think about these roles that we have, but there are lessons. And sometimes it's not even about like Mom's experience in the hospital. And then, here she is like suffering, and she ended up being a case study that took to the school, the medical school. And then they were able to help 2 more people that day that they couldn't figure out what was wrong with them, And so how awesome is that you can take something that you could bear a burden or have an experience and help others that you may never even meet. You may never even know how your experience could help someone else. And we know we're all connected. We know we're all the collective consciousness. And that's why we all signed up for this. So we never even really know the true impact of these experiences that seem like a burden or seem painful to us at the time, but we're really all are walking this life together. We're all holding hands, walking through this thing together,
I agree. In the words of Rush Limbaugh, mega dittos. I agree.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen that video from today, go subscribe to Clint Westwood on YouTube, and you'll see it's a black logo with little pistols firing, and and make sure you're on the right Clint Westwood. Believe it or not, there are multiples.
There's a band called Clint Westwood. I don't know if they're active anymore, but I've seen that come up.
I've seen that.
The real Clint Westwood.
The one and only, the original. Well, you're actually not the original
I'm not the
because
original.
we know
I am original.
you're very original.
That's for sure.
You're unique. Yes.
Very unique.
Yeah.
Very complex individual, but I'm very simple at the same time.
Yes. Oh, that's what I need to do with those glasses.
What's that?
I need to take them to somebody at Westwood's, a friend.
Hey, I want to show this off before I forget.
Okay, yeah.
Or finish your
No,
thought.
no. Go ahead.
Okay. I have to show this.
I have presents in front of me, and I'm trying to think of. I love giving presents, but I'm terrible at it, and so like then I see things, and I'm like, oh, I should bring that to somebody. So anyway, I'm having present thoughts in my head, and I have a whole stack.
Christmas in October.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. No, I forgot last week. This came in the mail. Special delivery from the Rand. He had this made. He asked me, when's the first date that you ever had a Westwood meetup?
Hold on. Let me switch.
I'm holding. All right.
Oh,
So
that is great. That is beautiful.
yeah, so he had that made and sent. Oh, there we go. And then so that was the very first date, 7/24/2020, that we had a meetup here at Westwood. And so he sent that. That was pretty cool. I got to find a good spot to hang that. I mean, I remember over here on the wall, we've got this metal thing that Red Cat Life, who may be here this time. Very good chance.
Really?
That will be fun.
I know. Always a great time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she made a sign right after the first Westwood, that has the, on the wall there with the big W and 2020, that kind of thing. So
that's that wall that were your pictures up there.
That year zero, right? That's the year zero. 2020 that Cliff was talking about at the Litecoin Summit, at the BIX event. He's had that video and he was talking about year zero. It's coming up, next year. I don't know what's going to happen. And it ended up being, this reset thing, with the COVID and, we kind of timeline shifted. I mean, and so diverged, some kind of Robert Frost thing, it's, you go this way or that way. And I think that's where we're at. We've got two paths and we've got a group of people that want to stay at the lower frequency level of this matrix world and want it to stay the same or return to the way it was before. And it's not going to happen. I don't think, because then we've got other people waking up all the time and activating, and that fire's been lit and that light is on and they're taking this new path. And so simultaneously, this is all happening. And that's why I kind of, months ago, I talked about this is like a choose your own adventure story. And that's really what it is. I mean, you can choose to stay on this path and just not accelerate, and not rise and not hit 88 miles per hour or 88 beats per minute. You can choose that, or you can say, punch it, we're going, and we're going this way. And we are going to, awaken and have a great awakening. And I think that's really where you're at. And you see it happening to people in your life. They're staying here and we're going there. And it's just, there's no alternative to that. And it's just breaking away and breaking free and just kind of kill the old self and move on with the new self.
But that's also like to have a true free society. And then we're having this conversation right now about the First Amendment and freedom, and which that's all in a Sarah Jacera, to have a constitutional education for everyone. And I believe that we're going to be having more deeply conversation, education about the Second Amendment. So everybody should read up before we get there. That would be a wise decision. But right now we're having the conversation about the First Amendment. And, it's not about people's feelings. It's about we are a constitutional republic, not a democracy. And that's about somebody being able to freely, there is no such thing as hate speech. That is a lie.
Right.
There's just speech.
Yeah.
It's like code. It's just language. And it doesn't have,
if you don't like it, move on.
Yes.
Right.
And but anyone should be able to say something as long as it doesn't bring harm to someone or infringe on the other person's right. And
Right.
that's the line in the sand. Like, that's what we have to have, have the education about. And so I had a great conversation with a guy that I met the other day, buying a beautiful mirror that Westwood thinks I'm going to bring to him, which I'm not. But not really. He wouldn't want it. But,
I would never expect you to do that. Because it looks better with you looking at it than me looking at it.
You're
If
so
that
funny.
makes sense.
It's a little feminine.
It's not your style, but
It's very beautiful, though.
thank you.
I can admire it. I do appreciate it. But you're right, it's not my style.
Yeah. All the inside jokes, guys. Anyway, but it was really great talking to somebody and getting to kind of have this great open conversation. And it's not about, we don't ever want to live in a world where everyone thinks the same as us. Or we want to live in a world where we are developing ideas, and we can say, even Jenny and I were having a talk the other day, and I said, I don't believe that. And she's like, well, I don't believe this. And I was like, well, that's okay. And she's like, well, I still love you. And she's like, you're not going to get rid of me that easy. And I was like, oh, well, good. And it's great that we can have different ideas, and have respect for each other, and have a respectful conversation about something. That's okay.
We should be able to have that. I mean, that's, why is everybody so on team A or team B, and that's the only way? It's just not, but that's the, I shouldn't say the culture. That is the programming that, all these guys up here want, just because it's easier to divide and conquer. And so if I can get you over here, Cowboy fans, and you Giant fans over here, and then, okay, now we've separated them, and now it's easier, divided war, let's divide Hitler, so he's fighting in this way and that way, and he's done now, you got a two-front war going on. You can't do it. I mean, you just can't do it. And so, yeah, that's kind of the thing that happens through, if you look around, it's always the Charlie Kirk thing, for instance. That's the most recent thing. And it's like, oh, these damn liberals, they're crazy, and look what they did. And it's just like, okay. And then, you guys are extremists, and that's what caused this because of your rhetoric, and so it's like back and forth, when instead of, looking at the big picture of, okay, Rodney King style, can't we all just get along? And I mean, that's really what it comes down to. It's just, at some point, when you either diverge or you don't. And when you diverge down that path of ascension, let's call it, or that awakening path, none of that stuff matters. I mean, all that pettiness and all that arguing and all that just bickering about silly things that really don't affect your life and your nourishment and your growth goes away, and it gets washed off of you. And when you get to that point, it's you're at a higher level, a higher frequency of thinking, to where that stuff doesn't even come into your life anymore. It just goes away. And it's just, that's what we need to try to strive for, I think, and just, let go of it. I talk about forgiveness. I talk about, all the other things. I mean, people can do you harm, but it's like, that's on them. Why carry that burden of hate and, and vengeance, and, because it does you no good. It does affect your body. You feel it. Your blood pressure will go up, and it's going to negatively harm you when you hold on to it. So you just let it go. Just let it go. Yeah.
Well, I had a great talk with Cannon on the way here. I guess he was with his dad during the whole Charlie Kirk thing. And so this year in 8th grade, they're starting to do like debate, and they're going to do a mock trial and all this. And so part of the homeschooling stuff, they're kind of, get them ready for that, whatever. And so one of the classes is intro to logic, and they're doing some comparison things and having these discussions. And so his dad had used part of that situation to have some talks with him about it, and talking about people being able to debate and have open debates about ideas and whatever, and kind of Charlie Kirk style and whatever. And so then Cannon and I were kind of continuing that, because it's a 3-hour drive here. So we had lots of opportunity for windshield time discussions, which is a great way to talk to teenagers, because they don't have to look directly at you, but they're kind of trapped. So grab their phone, turn off the radio, and look out the window and have conversations with your teenagers. It's great way to have talk. But anyway, And so I kind of asked him a lot of open-ended questions of, well, so what did you hear about? And what did you think about that? And all this. And then I kind of applied it to a situation with his friends. I said, well, so what did, when you and your friends get together and you guys like Fortnite, and do you guys all agree on everything in the game? And he's like, oh no, so what are some of the things that you don't agree on? And he talked about like different skins, or these, I guess they're the like body costume things or whatever.
Yeah.
Like some people think this character is the best, or this weapon is the best. And I said, oh, well, does that make you think less than your friend if you guys don't agree that this character is the best or this weapon is the best to use? Like, do you think less than your friend if you guys? And he's like, oh no, we just say like, I think this is the best and he thinks that's the best, and but I still love my friend the same, and
we still play the game together.
Yeah. And I thought, man, that's the difference, is that when these adults, they have I would say learned, but I think it's been tricked and programmed, like you said, to find value in themselves with these issues. They think if they're on the right side of the issue, they themselves have more value.
Right.
Like if I'm on MAGA, then I'm on the right side of the argument. So I'm on the good team. I have more value than that other team. Instead of seeing yourself as, I'm a human and I have the same value as the other human who has a different opinion of me. Mm-hmm. We just have different opinions. And as long as we're not harming each other, we both have the same value, and we can have differences of opinion, and we can have open conversation and learn things about each other, and we may change our ideas or open our minds, just like Charlie Kirk was getting more information and opening his mind. Changing his mind about things. And I'm sure he opened people's mind and changed their ideas about some things as well. But it was my understanding that Charlie Kirk saw himself as having value, but he also saw people that he talked to as having value as well. And I thought, man, kids already understand that.
Yeah. And at some point it gets the structure, and everything, but we come here innocent. I mean, really, that spark of light, we come here innocent on the wings of God, from the wings, from heaven, and, whatever you call it. And then what happens to us? What happens? You get indoctrinated in the schools, you get indoctrinated with all of the media, you get indoctrinated with all this stuff and taught what you're supposed to think, and you root for this team or that team, and you develop an identity vicariously, like you're saying, you're living through. And I mean, think about it. Tomorrow is Saturday, college football, as Daddy O says, it's like a religion in the South. I mean, really. And if their team loses, they're upset. I mean, the rest of the day is ruined. Your physiology is screwed up. I mean, you're upset. Your heart rate's different, and your blood pressure is different. And I mean, you're stressed out and you're angry, all these emotions. But what really happened to you? I mean, what really happened to you to change your life that affected you? Did you break your leg? No. I mean, did something really happen? And if you broke your leg, it might be a lesson to, hey, don't climb on that ladder after 5 beers. There's always a lesson to be learned. And so it's people that vicariously live through other people's actions. You're giving your power away. I mean, completely delegating your power to somebody else and your mind and don't do that. Enjoy the game. I like to watch football games. I do enjoy it now and then, but I don't care. I look at it, it's like, wow, that was a great play. I don't care what team it is. Man, that was a great throw. It's like, that was very talented. That was a very athletic move. And, I'm at that point in life to where I don't even care who wins or loses. I just like to see excellent performances by people and watch people excel. I don't care what team it's on. And so I'm not invested in that. I don't have my soul invested in someone else, that if they do something, it affects me. It's like, no, I'm responsible for my soul and myself, and that's it. And so I can only do what I can do for me. You know what I mean? To nourish me. And I mean, I can't let somebody else dominate, my thinking. It's my path. I got to take it, you know, and I'm responsible for it.
And we love you, Daddy-O. We're not.
Oh, I'm not hitting on Daddy-O. I'm not bashing on you, brother. I'm just saying I like the phrase that you use because it's true. It's like college football is like a religion in the South. I mean, it really is. You look at these stadiums, it's like gladiators fighting, you know, and everybody's you know.
But it's really a religion to money because once again,
it is
all about
money.
Money. Yeah. And the funding and all that kind of stuff. And if somebody, you know, finds joy from it, like you were saying, you know, then no one's begrudging them that, but also be very careful what they're doing with your energy, you know.
Yeah. Well, like everybody's so polarized, like with sports, and that's, you know, that's just the way it is, and it's probably harmless in some degrees. What is dangerous is when the polarization becomes weaponized, like these political groups.
Yeah.
And then it's just, you know, out of control.
Absolutely, because you're actually taking action and doing what Lisa said. You're violating someone's rights. You know, it should be the way I look at things. It's, you know, your rights end when mine begin. And so when you are violating my space and you're, you know, doing something to infringe on my rights, well, now you got to stop. I mean, and so violence is never an answer. I mean, I like the Gandhi quote where it says, "An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind." And I mean, and that's very, I mean, telling. I mean, you can't just wreak out vengeance on people because it goes back to our cosmic bus stop of maybe there's a reason why something happened. And, you know, I'm not saying any of this stuff is good, but something good can come out of anything bad. I mean, it really can. Should those bad things happen? Should those people have done the things that they've done? You know, no, but I mean, if you're going to harbor that and hold that the rest of your life and create a group to go, you know, Israel bombs Gaza, Gaza bombs Israel, you know, and it's just like, boom, boom, you know, okay, at some point, what are we doing? I mean, why are we fighting? What is the problem? And it just accelerates, and then it gets fed by the money, and because that's what they want. These vampires want to suck your energy away, and they want to keep you divided, and it just makes it easier for them to control you. Again, it goes back to take ownership of yourself and realize, are you living your best life? Are you following your path? Are you being true to yourself and what you're here for, or are you allowing someone to manipulate your energy?
Yes.
Don't let that happen. Don't give them the power. Vampire doesn't exist unless they steal your energy. Not even that, unless you give them your energy. They're powerless unless you give it to them. So don't give it to them. And then let them rot and die, you know, and fade away and go into dust like they're supposed to. And put the light on them. That helps too. You know.
Well, and I think that's what's being shown. We just have to be really careful because we're such a reactive culture. You know, oh, they did this to me, I'm doing it back. Before we stop, just hold on a minute and let's
9/11 style. Let's go bomb Afghanistan. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go bomb Iraq. No, wait a minute. You know,
even the Jimmy Kimmel thing.
Yeah.
And I did, you know, I kind of sat on it and listened. But then I was hearing somebody talk, and it's like, well, wait a minute. So there are public broadcast channels that have a responsibility to like not take sides and all that and do this reporting. And I believe the Smithman Act has been repealed somehow through like the USA Inc. going bankrupt. I don't know this for a fact, but this is what I believe. Yeah. But private broadcasting is kind of like if I had a private business, like a bakery, and my beliefs were that I didn't want to make cakes for cowboys. And a cowboy came in and said, I want this cowboy cake. I could refuse the right of service to anyone because it's my private business.
Right.
And so it was my understanding that like there's some of that kind of language and situation that could be going on, but they're trying to gin up. Okay, wait, we did this to you in 2020 and shut you guys down and you lost your jobs. You know, my husband was fired in 2020. I lost multiple channels. I lost sponsors, lots of things during the Great Infection and J6, all of that kind of stuff. And so I've had personal loss and all that from all the stuff that we went through. And so right now that this tides are turning, I would be one of the first ones to say, everybody's on this rah, let's go attack, because this situation has been created to make Charlie Kirk this big martyr, and then use that as anybody who speaks out that celebrates his death or anything like that, or has an opinion about it, they are being attacked to the point. This is so weird. I was getting my hair done on Tuesday, and there's a gentleman who's a veterinarian in Edmond, Oklahoma, who didn't think before he spoke. And he happens to have an alternative lifestyle in a very Christian, very red. It's the only state that was completely red in every year.
Trump. It's like every county, wasn't it?
Yes, every county.
Every county went red in Oklahoma.
Yes, in Oklahoma. And Edmond is has a giant cross on the I-35, and just that is probably not the best place to identify yourself and say horrible things about Charlie Kirk publicly. And then people had physical banners made up of his public statement that said horrible things about Charlie's death, called him horrible things, all this. People doxed him. They took pictures of his vehicle, of his home. The guy's receiving death threats. The guy had to change out his car tag.
Close his business.
He's having to sell his business, sell his home. He was coming there to change his appearance. He's terrified.
For sure.
And I do not believe harm, like you said,
do no harm.
Violence is doing no harm to anyone. And what I said before he even got there, because everybody kind of nervous, and I'm like, what is going on? And then they told me he was coming, and I was like, you should have told the rest of us. That is not very, very nice that you're putting us all in danger. But anyway, I said, I believe in freedom of speech. And I said, even for the dumb people, I said, I believe the biggest jerk should be able to say whatever they want. And they were like, oh, but I thought you were MAGA and you would hate that he should be able to say whatever. And I was like, no, I want everyone to be able to say whatever they want. And then it's my choice to say, oh, I see what you believe. And now I choose to not bring my dog to your veterinarian clinic because we are not simpatico.
Right.
We do not have the same beliefs.
I don't want to give you my energy, my money. I don't want to do that because I just don't want to. And it's my choice not to.
Right. But I would never wish harm on him.
No.
Or try to bring harm to his business. It would be a way of in agorism, I would vote with my wallet. The way that a lot of people did, with the beer thing. I changed my beer because they were doing all that crazy stuff. I don't shop at Target because they want to have little boys put their private parts tucked in girls' bathing suits. I don't participate in that. And everyone can make their choices when we have freedom of speech and everyone is participating in a safe way in the public square. And that's when you value each other as humans and say, you have as much value as I do to have your opinion. And if you choose something different than me, that's fine, as long as you don't bring harm to me or someone else.
Right. 100% agree. I'm the biggest free speech advocate ever. I mean, I almost no limitations on free speech. Now, I get it. You're yelling fire in a crowded theater.
But that's bringing harm.
Exactly. And that's been decided. I mean, the Supreme Court's made a decision on that. I mean, there are limits to it because you are intentionally trying to do something. I mean, you're going to create a stampede. I mean, you are inciting something. But as far as your opinion, I mean, and standing, on the soapbox and saying whatever you want. I mean, Richard Pryor's from the Peoria area. And if you don't know, he's a black guy. And he used the N-word a lot. I mean, and so are you going to censor him? I mean, and then what if a white guy does that, and uses, the N-word a lot? And it's like, you know what? It is what it is. I mean, you're either offended by it or you're not. If I'd never heard that word and I were a black man, I mean, I would not be offended. You know what I mean? And it's just like, somebody's saying something about me and I don't even know, whatever, cast aspersions in the chat, call me something. And it's, if somebody says that to me, it's like, oh, well, I mean, it's your opinion. That's fine.
It doesn't make
Say whatever you want but like you said, allow people to show who they are. And if they want to talk about that stuff, and if they want to say something, it's like, okay, well, I really don't care to be around you, and I don't think I'm going to come visit your shop anymore. And thank you for letting me know who you are. I appreciate that. I'm going over here. And so look at it like you're doing from the positive side of things. That just helps you understand people better, and you can make decisions accordingly with your energy and where you want to give it. Say whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not gonna, I just won't respond. I mean, I have people send me text messages and I'm like, I ain't responding to that. I'm just like, nope. and it's just, I'm just not doing it.
That is another great point to this, is that we do not have to, I was for a nonprofit, a different one, not mine, but I'd been asked to be on the board for another nonprofit, and they were given a large piece of land. And I was like, and there were some people on the board were really excited. And I was like, hey, let's look at our mission. And how does this go to our mission? Yeah. Because this distracts from our mission. It's actually going to be a burden to take care of this. And I said, when someone gives you an elephant, you do not have to accept it. Somebody got to feed that elephant. You got to take the elephant to the vet. You got to clean up after that.
There's a lot to clean up.
Not every gift, not everything you are given is a gift. Correct. And you are not obligated to accept everything. And that's including energy or words or messages. If somebody calls you or texts you or looks at you, you do not have to pick up every gift that's given to you.
Right. You can choose not to engage. I mean, and that's the biggest thing that a lot of people don't realize. It's like, well, I need to say this, or, I'll have people tell me, you need to say this, you need to say that. And it's like, I don't care. I'm not going to give it my energy. And I say that a lot. I'm just not going to put my energy into that. And I don't want to put my energy into that. It's just not worth it. I mean, it just isn't worth it sometimes. And sometimes it is. But that's your choice. You can choose to engage and get wrapped into this. And because I know people, once you start going back and forth, they'll never end it. I mean, it'll be something else and something else and something else. And I mean, I'm sure people have had, experiences with other people to where it's like, oh, don't even get them started. Because once you do, it's too late. I mean, it's just going to be back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Next thing you know, you don't even know what you're talking about. It's just like we're talking about, lost my connection. Am I back?
No,
you're here.
Oh, that was weird. It had network connection lost, retry. But so you don't have to engage.
I'm with you. I mean, those are other lessons in life as we go through, and we're taught to be, or they try to program us to be so reactive, and you just don't have to
stick up for yourself or turn the other cheek. Maybe it's better just to turn the other cheek and walk away. And guess what? I'm done with this. You have fun over there rolling around the pig in public. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm not going to do this. It makes me think of something. How many times have you heard the phrase fight or flight? It's a fight or flight situation. There's three options. It's fight, flight, or freeze. Sometimes it's better just to freeze and not make a move. I mean, you think about the animal kingdom. Sometimes animals, they get real still and they kind of become invisible and blend in. And it's like the person walks right by or the animal walks right by. So it's not just fight or flight. Those aren't your only options. That's what they want you to think. You don't have to fight. You don't have to run. Sometimes you can just stand still and say, you know what? I'm just not going to engage, and I'm just going to wait until it's my time to move. And then I just walk off.
Interesting.
Just a thought.
Yeah. This is what Mom has been having conversations. Sometimes you just be an observer, like, because I have a tendency to want to jump in and help fix things. And
I'm like, that ain't worth fixing. I'm just going to stay right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Speaking of gifts, real quick, I had the prices right on the other day. I don't know why. It just happened to be on. It was going on. Drew Carey, he's on there. And this lady was so excited. They said, "What do you want to win?" And she says, "A new car." And then they open the doors up and there's a car. She's like, "Oh," and you got to pick the price. You pick, they give you the middle numbers and then you got to pick the first two and then the last two. She picked it on the first two tries. She got the first one, the second one, boom, wins the car. And she was so excited. She goes and jumps in the car and gets in the car. And she's like, "I want a car. I want a car." And I'm thinking, you realize the tax burden you just inherited? You know what I mean? I mean, you're pay taxes on this car. And I'm thinking, I'll just buy my little $1,000 cars and make one payment and I'm good. I don't want a new car. I don't, because think about it. You might have to pay who knows, sales tax, 10% of it. And is it really winning it? Because, now you've kind of screwed your lifestyle a little bit and you got to come up with the money to pay the sales tax on this new car. Now you got to license it.
More.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe it's not a gift after all. Just saying.
Well, most likely a lot of those. I know I had a friend in college and she went to Vegas when she turned 21. Mm-hmm. She won a car, a green Jag. Of course, this was in, mid 90s. And it was beautiful. And she was like,
Jags were all the rage, right?
Oh yeah. And she was like, yep. And they let her drive it from the, place showroom to, or no, from the casino back to the showroom where she turned it in because she couldn't afford to pay the tax and title and tag and all that. No. But, so she took the lesser cash amount for it or whatever, because she was like, my God, I couldn't afford that. No. But,
that's just how it is.
Sometimes the elephant is not a gift.
No, the elephant's got a lot of issues.
Yeah.
It grope you when you're not paying attention. I mean, sit down on you. I mean, there's all kinds of things. You just never know.
Yeah, you just never
know. Makes noise when it wants to. Sprays water everywhere. I mean, jeez.
They're very messy.
Never know. I do love elephants, though. I do like the elephants. I got elephants up here somewhere, over here and over there, but I do like them. But I don't want to own one.
Yeah, I got an elephant puzzle today, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a pink elephant.
Little vintage.
Yes,
wooden puzzle.
Yeah, vintage wooden pink elephant puzzle. Yeah, it's for my daughter. So
there used to be a secondhand store around here somewhere called the Pink Elephant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really name. Yeah, that's cute.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. When I have my big warehouse, I could paint it pink. There's a building here that I want, that I drive by all the time, and I manifest that I own the whole damn thing.
Well, that can happen. You got to have the vision first to get it going, and then put it out in the universe. And so, as soon as the lovely light coin Lisa walks into the building, we're going to call it Pretty in Pink, right?
Oh, that's very sweet.
There you go.
Yeah, I have lots of ideas. My mother's like, "Please stop."
Let's finish what we're doing.
Manifesting.
There are no more day.
I know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we didn't get to all the garage. This weekend is the big town garage sale. Ooh. And my husband made the mistake of like, oh, hey, you guys are going to take this stuff that we sold to the post office here in town. But then one of the boxes need to go to UPS. Well, there's no UPS in town. You have to go to the big city to force me. So we're like, oh yeah, we'll run it in there. Well, that means we had to go all the way through town, 3 miles. All the way.
Probably just.
And we saw all the garage sale signs. So I was like, on the way back, we're going to hit as many as we can, which was like 3.
Yeah, because once you get there, it's like, oh, there's an hour.
Well, yeah, because then we start talking to people, and then I don't know. Anyway, there was a lot. And then
that's the fun of it.
It is the fun of it. Yeah, we had a good time. So hopefully tomorrow morning we can get up early, and I don't know, I'm thinking about finding somewhere we have my dad's wheelchair, and then I can push her around faster.
You're not pushing me around.
There you go.
Because she's still not 100%.
It'll wear you out. It wears me out, and stuff like that.
I know.
I'm better every day.
I'll just make her get on my back like piggyback.
Right.
Oh Lord, you on roller skates? That would be.
Hey, I was pretty good in the day.
Got the big go-go boots on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was when she was
Bring
pregnant.
it all the way up to your knee. The big long boots to skate.
No, she was pregnant with me in go-go boots, and men were hitting on her.
Well,
Nana has quite the past.
tells you something.
For sure.
Yeah.
So tell us about. I heard
I'm
you
still
talking.
beautiful after all these years.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
for sure.
It was like 5 or 6.
Oh Lord.
Oh, lovely. Tell us about the meetup. I'm excited. We're going to get there a little bit early, but then we're hopefully going to get to stay a little bit longer too.
That would be awesome.
We're spend some time with the fam bam, and
Yes.
really excited about that and seeing everybody. I'm excited about the meetup at the public meetup at Hanover's on Friday night. We'll do some streaming from there.
Yep. We're going to go in. It's going to be Hanovers. We're going to walk out. It's going to be hangovers.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. So that's in Metamora, Illinois, on the town square. There's like Dollar General. There's this really beautiful pavilion and grassy area in the center of town. And there's a statue of Abraham Lincoln and the lady that he helped in the courthouse there.
Find a drink of water.
Yes, find a drink of water. And the historical courthouse. And then there's some really cute little shops there. There's a coffee shop.
A coffee shop. They got a bakery there now. So you can go get your sweet tooth on. Just outside of town, there's a brewery just down the road. I mean, if you go to clintwestwood.net, click the big link at the top. It's got all the details. And I put some links to the other attractions, I guess you could say, there in town. But no, it's a nice place to visit. There's actually a lot of walking trails just right outside of town by a park, a Black Partridge Park. You can go and just meander and walk and enjoy nature. So there's really a lot to do for such a small town.
And there's some fishing spots too.
You can
there's like a little fishing lake or fishing thing close by there.
You can find some things. Yes.
Yes.
There's a little spot down the road. Yep. There's it's a nice area. It's a good family friendly town. But there is a bar, a couple of bars if you want to engage in that kind of thing. Just down the road, there's a casino if you're into that. In East Peoria, hotels there, hotel rooms there. I mean, you can stay. So there's a lot to do. Just search it up. Go to the website and make your plans. Always a great time, says Daddy-O. And you can go to Runnings too. He likes to go to Runnings and see all the things, the hunting supplies and all of anything you want.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we'll do that.
Pretty cool thrift shop there, a secondhand shop too that you can shop at. That's where I get the majority of my things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have furniture, they have clothes, utensils, china, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
we will check that out as well. Anything you thought was interesting at Trump's UK visit?
The visuals. That was the main thing. The visuals were completely out of kilter if this man's the king, the King Chuck. He looked like Ground Chuck. Trump was so much bigger than him. He was, or than he was, if I do it correctly. So yeah, Trump looked like the leader, had complete control of the situation, the dominant male by far. It was very interesting to see that the visual of it. And so what's that really mean? It's got to mean something. I mean, there's pomp and circumstance that goes on. This is what his second state visit, never happened before. Something is afoot. Not sure what, but
Have you heard the rumors that like our taxes actually are paid back through like the London Bridge?
Yeah, I've heard. I don't know about the London Bridge, but I've always heard that we're still, technically somehow on paper beholden to the British Crown. City of London type stuff. The thing is, I mean, we're taught in schools that, the kings are just figureheads. The royalty's just a figurehead now. They have no power. But can't they suspend the Commonwealth in Canada or I should say the government of Canada and anything in the Commonwealth? Can't the king just basically adjourn it? I'm pretty sure that power exists. And to think that someone with that wealth, vast amount of wealth and lands and tracts of lands, throughout history that's been built up, has no power. I mean, give me a break. Prime ministers come and go. And these elected officials come and go, but the royal families that maintain all this property for all of this time and probably have a allodial title to where they pay no taxes and it's free and clear. You can't tell me that they don't have power at some level, the corporations that they're invested in or board members of. I mean,
Unless they're just the beneficiary of.
yeah, and they could be, but if they control these things, the estate, then they do have power. And so, to think that they're just figureheads is, come on. But yeah, it definitely looked like King Charles was not the big dog at all. Looked like a puppy.
Yeah. Speaking of puppies, this announcement, because the colleges to me somehow there's something weird going on with the colleges and how they're involved, and especially Harvard. We all hear about Skull and Bones and all that, and these big trust funds.
Isn't that Yale? I think Yale is Skull and Bones, but they're all the same. They have their little.
Okay, this one's about Harvard. It says the education directs Harvard University to use its own funds to cover student aid. And then I saw this bridge, and it made me think of when I was a kid. I was born in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and it reminds me of the London Bridge. And just, I don't know, my guts kind of said, like, that seems like a tie somehow too. And the timing with all this happening seems like there's a there. I don't know what it is, but.
Well, when I was listening to you last night a little bit, when I had a little bit of time, I was listening to you and Skullcap. And yeah, I mean, what I was thinking at the time when you're all excited and you're like, wait, this is, I got to talk about this. I got to talk about this. You may think I'm crazy and I'm this and that and I'm this conspiracy girl, and you're saying this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but your intuition is usually pretty close to the mark. I mean, really. And so I've seen that time and time again, to where it's like, man, this sounds a little out there. I'm not sure if this is connecting the dots. And then, the more I think about things, I'm like, she's onto something. Where'd she come up with this stuff? And so, yeah, you got to just keep doing what you're doing and trust your gut and your intuition, because you do have a pretty keen and quick intuition on these things.
Charlie's not even going to lock her up anymore.
No, right. At one point, yeah, Charlie's like, I don't know, I might have to do something with this woman, But
years ago, yeah, no, I used to have a plan with Public. He was my backup, that if my husband had me locked up, Public was going to bust me out. Mm-hmm. And now my husband believes all this. But that is the Great Awakening, is that people will start seeing, and it doesn't, once again, it doesn't mean that somebody's more or better because you saw something before or saw something different than somebody else. And it's more about, it's the trusting yourself, because I think people all see it, but it's like, oh, but I don't want people to think I'm crazy, because that's what the CIA, that was their
conspiracy theory.
That's where they came up with the term conspiracy theory. And they said, discredit. No, how was it? The 3Ds. Distract. Something.
Destroy. Maybe.
Is it destroy? And then
I don't know. I'm just thinking discredit.
But discredit was the final thing. Like, you're crazy. If you're ever in a fight with those, maybe it was deny, distract, discredit. That may be it. I don't know. There was like 3Ds. And it was like, that was a strategy to get people to not trust somebody and destroy their character, to make them seem crazy. And then, well, they're not a credible person. And, we're the authority. Mm-hmm. That's part of the reason that they came up with uniforms.
Yeah, exactly. Just
and licensing.
Yeah.
To have, who has the credibility? Would you have a license? Are you wearing a uniform? Well, then you must be the trusted ones. You must be
absolutely.
Right. And then
you are the anointed priest.
The priest
in the temple.
Well, that should be the only person that hears from God. That's
absolutely. You're not. You can't handle the truth.
Mm-hmm. That's literally not what the Bible says.
No, exactly. I don't think that's what Jesus taught. I could be wrong. But there's it made me think of Stanley Milgram, the experiments. And what happened was they brought these people into a room and they had like shockers, and they could turn the dial up to shock people and hurt people. And I mean, the people would be screaming, you know, it was kind of an act anyway, in the other side of the room. But what would happen is people are like uncomfortable at first. They're like, I hear that person screaming, you know, they don't see him, but they hear him when they turn the dial up. And what the experiment found was that most people, the vast majority of people, when instructed by a doctor who would say, oh no, turn it up, it's okay, turn it up, it's okay, and against their better nature, people continued to harm the other person and dial it up and electrocute them more, just because an authority figure like a doctor gave them the okay. They didn't have the guts, they didn't trust themselves enough to say, I'm not doing this stuff. You know, I don't care who you are. I'm not going to hurt this other person senselessly and needlessly because I can hear they're screaming. And most people would do it. And then you look at the masking. I mean, most people are just going to do it. But you might not feel good about it. And so that was a good lesson for all of us. You know, it's like, you know what? I ain't doing that again. You know, you learn. And, you know, I'm not doing, you know, whatever they told me to do again. And so they can only force people to do things for so long before enough people see, they can only push that edge, you know, that razor's edge for so long before you've got enough people, just like the American Revolution. You got enough people, 3%, 5%, whatever it is. I'm fully awake. All right. You following me or not? I'm out of here. You know, and they're like, man, I kind of think I should follow this guy. You know, I should go that direction with this 3%, 5%. You know, and so all it takes is a dedicated group.
Don't even follow me, but listen to yourself.
Right. I'm going to go with you because I believe the same things, or I'm going to stay here and be, I live that life of quiet desperation when I should be doing this. I know I should, but I got all this to lose. I got a retirement, you know, and it's, at some point, you don't care anymore. You just say, I'm done. I'm standing on principle. I know what's right. I know the truth. I've seen the truth. I'm out.
Right.
And that's it. Nothing else matters at that point. Once you see the truth, know the truth, and you have the ability to stay in the truth, you know, everything else just it will fall away. Trust me. It will fall away and it won't matter. You'll be at peace because you're true to yourself. Just saying.
Good news. Speaking of 3%, silver pumped 3% today.
Look out.
That is good news.
$5 days on the horizon, the Cliff Eye stuff, $5 a day. I mean, you're seeing dollar days. I mean, what is it, $43 an ounce or something now? I mean, who would have thought?
Yeah.
Wow. That's exciting.
It is.
That is really exciting. Yeah. The whole don't follow me, but look at yourself kind of thing is exciting to me. Oh, yes. 4301.
Wow.
It's
a pretty big number to close on a Friday for the weekend. I mean, you sit and think about that one. Man, wow. But it's always preserved energy against the dollar. I mean, we've seen it. That's just what it does. And as you print more dollars, what do you think's going to happen? It's going to suck them up.
Yeah, and we're coming in on that, you know, end of fiscal year, and that debt of the U.S. that has to be flipped, and it has to settle by 9/30. All of that, like that. I don't know. It's not looking good.
No. We needed a continuation bill to get us through the end of the year, you know, that kind of thing. It's just, will the can get kicked? I don't know. Every time the debt ceiling's reached, or, you know, the fiscal year ends, there's always a kick the can moment. At some point there won't be. And I don't know, just the way things are moving with people waking up and the knowledge like we're talking about. I mean, I've never seen anybody so awake, as many people starting to wake up as I have now. And I mean, that's what I mean. You hit a critical mass of just the floodgates open, and it's just, yeah, that's what I've always been thinking. It's like, all right, I'm out too.
Everything attached to that bill, didn't you say?
Oh, I didn't know.
No, I thought you were.
It wasn't. I didn't hear that. What I had heard was that there was funding. The left wants funding attached to the bill. So part of the issue with the funding pushed through November 21st is that the Dems want funding for illegals attached to the bill.
That's what it was.
And the right guys are saying that's an issue to discuss in December. That's not an issue for September. And they're saying, and Schumer and all of those guys saying, no, we have to have. And at the same time, you guys know, I've been so harping on the census thing. And I believe that's a big trigger point of this whole thing kind of busting apart. The truth, the reset, I think that is a big linchpin, is our census getting corrected. And then us being able to have that revaluation and knowing, the resources that are in our country actually benefiting the true American people that are, supposed to be here. And so I believe it was Massey. Maybe it wasn't Massey. It was Ron Paul Jr.
Might have been Rand Paul. Rand
Was
Paul.
it Rand Paul?
I
call him Ron Paul Jr. Anyway, you guys know who I'm talking about. He put in, and he's pushing for a recall of the census or new census without all the illegals in it.
Yeah, right.
Can't vote in
because they all get counted and they're in pockets, that
just bizarre land. Yeah.
Well, you need an extra representative in California now, and the Chicagoland area and in Minneapolis and, and all these places. Okay.
Yeah. And how do they count if they all have the same social security number?
Right. Yeah. Right.
200 of them are sharing a social security number. How do you know you have the right ones?
Right. They go to the house and they say, how many people are living here? Oh, 20. Okay.
Yeah. And how many are minors in the basement? What?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's that. Yeah. Money funding. A lot of that's unwinding. A lot of that stuff is coming out.
It is.
It really is. And Trump is, calling a lot of that out and letting it leak. So,
and it's not just him. Do you see what's happening also? In the UK and England, there's millions of citizens marching to Parliament and demanding mass deportation. They're taking their country back from the Muslims and saying, our daughters will be safe here. We're not doing this. They're demanding an end to Sharia law in some of these little cities that have been taken over. It's incredible to see what's happening, and it's happening all over the world. So
that's why they call it a great awakening.
We'll see.
Enjoy the show, folks.
I know. And if it gets to be too much for you, go outside.
Take a break. Go get a smoke break. Go stand outside the theater. Whatever you got to do.
Hug a tree, take your shoes off, get some grounding.
There's something to that hugging the tree thing.
Yeah.
Not really. I touch the trees all the time. I give them high fives when I'm walking the dogs all along the line.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. I walk the dogs and I'm like touching every tree.
They say touching a tree, with your hands is as good as putting your feet on the ground.
If you do both at the same time, which I do, barefooted.
I'm
connected, baby.
I'm usually, always, mostly barefoot. But
how do you think I grow this beard? It's like my foliage. It's coming out. This just happened last night. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, by the 3rd, you'll really be all.
I know.
You'll look like my chiropractor.
Wow. Nah, I don't think so.
Maybe.
No. I was surprised. I took my daughter to for a physical. We had to have one. 6th grade. She went back to school, and I don't have a scale at home. I don't weigh myself. I have no idea. I don't know what I weigh. I don't even care. I just, know how I feel. I can tell I eat something. I can tell, I'm pretty in tune with the body right now. And so I thought, I'll get on the scale. It's an official scale. I'll see how much I weigh. Again, it's just like time and all that stuff. So whatever. I'll be there when I'm there. And so I got on the scale and I'm like, whoa, what the frick happened? Because I was tipping 255, close to 260 this year. This year. And I got on the scale, it said 202.
Ooh,
I
I mean,
believe,
I
yeah.
dropped that much weight.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel so good. I mean, I feel so active and aware. And all I did was just change my diet. I mean, that's it. I'm not out doing anything special. I just don't eat garbage. I mean, I don't eat anything processed. I don't eat anything. I mean, it's anything cooked. It's, it's like, directly from down the road, a pasture. You know what I mean? It's like, or eggs or something. It's like, as Logan, I talked to a friend about this today, and that's what, we had this discussion, and he said, yeah, I mean, it's the closer you can get to the source of the food, the better off you are. And it really doesn't matter what you eat, I don't think. If it's not processed, and if it's like the most whole food that you can possibly get, like going and picking a pear off the tree and eating it.
Yeah, they
or
say
picking a
like
plant.
one, what is it called? One item foods or whatever, or like an egg.
Yeah.
It's made from one thing.
Well,
An
that's
egg,
it.
a steak, asparagus, like,
Right. There's nothing else but that. It's in its natural form. And so you're as close to the energy as you possibly can get, as close to the purity that you can possibly get, close to the earth that you can possibly get. But when they take all these things that are genetically modified, take them to a warehouse or take them to a factory and then mix them up with all this other stuff, these oils and all the sugars and all that stuff, put it in a box, transport it back and forth here and there.
Yeah.
It's got no nutrition. It has nothing. And it
the other door. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. So be as raw as you can, as close to nature and whole foods as you can, because I speak from experience. That's what I do. And I mean, I'm telling you, the weight just fell off. I mean, it really did. And it stays off. And I mean, I just had a huge sirloin steak the other night. Huge. And I ate all the fat on it. And it's just, but it doesn't affect me like, eating a big bowl full of pasta and, processed sauce, with the fake Parmesan cheese. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Crap in a can. Don't eat that.
I know, it's garbage.
Only get like the real cheese,
shave it off, the stuff that,
yeah.
Right. The blue cheese in the cave in France, that kind of stuff,
All that. Yes. All
So,
the beautiful things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful world. I mean, see the beauty in it is really what it comes down to. I mean, you can have hate, you can have vengeance, you can have, anger. It doesn't do you any good. Go look at those things that are beautiful and give your energy to those things. And I'm telling you, you're rewarded. It will be that light that shines out. I mean, really extinguish that darkness and find the beauty and the truth and the love in this world. And if you do that, everything's going to be fine. Because none of the other stuff matters at that point.
That's right.
Yeah. And what you focus on, that's what you experience. And that's what's true in your world. That's what you put energy into. If you're dialed in on the negativity, the hate, the drama, the whatever, that's what you're going to put more energy into in your world.
You're manifesting it. Quit thinking about it. Quit dwelling on it. Let it go. And so, and, I got work to do on certain things, but I tell you, I've seen the benefits of changing your mindset and not thinking about those things and just letting them go. I mean, of course things happen to you, but you just gotta not responding. I'm freezing. I'm gonna let it pass, and then I'm gonna move on.
Yeah.
Not fighting it, not running from it. I'm just gonna let it pass, and then I'm gonna go do my thing.
Well, maybe that's you're at the cosmic bus stop and that wasn't your bus. You're just gonna.
That's it. No,
not take that ride.
Not going that way. I've already done that. Right.
Yeah, not that bus. I'm with you.
Know what you're here for. I mean, I think we all know intuitively what we're here for and what our purpose is. And that's why we get angry, because we're deviating from that. And so let that stuff go and focus on where you're supposed to be going, what you're here for, what you're here to learn, what things you need to polish up and hone, and nourish your soul and help it to be as close to perfection as possible. I guess, I said it better in the video today, I think.
Oh, it was a great video. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. It was good.
Well, thank you. I spill it. I'm just talking. I'm like stream of consciousness kind of thing, like Faulkner did, where he wrote like 5 pages without punctuation. You just spill it. And I'm just saying it. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm saying. I just say it.
It's good. No, that's really good. I think everybody, I mean, I enjoy it. I hope everybody will go and find your channel and subscribe, like, and comment on it to help the algorithms. Because I think more of that we get out there that we're sharing with each other brings encouragement to other people. You never know when you're going to brighten somebody's day, or they're going to hear something like you were saying today. Somebody else says the same word that you were saying, and it brings that thing of, like you just, we were talking about how today, you know, when you hear the truth, you just know it.
Yeah.
You have that feeling.
You just know.
You know someone's telling the truth because you're feeling that. It's a truth thing. It's connectedness. You know, when you meet a friend, you talked about that, because I know that's my friend. That's my truth.
Yeah.
Mom had a really strong connection with one of the residents in the hospital, that he was able to really understand what was going on with her and helped find out what was going on with her, and had this really great
And we,
connection.
at some point, some of our communication was just looking at each other, and I didn't have to ask the question. He knew what I was asking, and he gave me the answer. I mean, it was,
Yeah.
It's great when that happens. I mean, and it happens.
yeah.
I mean, it's an energetic frequency level. So when the aliens show up, I mean, we're just not even gonna have to talk to them.
Her sodium was also very low, and she was a little.
So I made
Well, I mean, you know, maybe
I don't know. I mean, but you know, I'm also saying they were very connected. And he did ask her to become a patient of his, but
there you
go. It was great. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm really looking forward to Westwoods this year. I'm so glad we were able to, get here and get moved and get settled so that we could make the commitment and be able to make it. I would be so sad if I ever missed one.
I was kind of getting hurt. I mean, I was not showing it so much, but I was kind of getting a little concerned. No, really, I was just like, oh, I understand completely, but I thought there was a chance you're not going to make it.
There was a chance we weren't, because it was really, things were so crazy.
I know.
And that's what I'm going to do, a Patreon video tomorrow
at 8 Central.
Yeah. So I talked to my friend who gave me information and helped us find a document that the title company was unable to find for an entire month, and that we had called a 3-letter agency and been left on hold for hours at a time, hung up on. We had tried for almost a month. And then I had a friend who gave me some guidance, and I was able to find something with a 10-minute phone call. And so I'm going to share that information. And if it's helpful to people, I hope that's a blessing to some people. But I did get permission to told that is public information, and this is the way things are. And I don't know if this is kind of like, I know Cliff talked about like 2 systems running.
Like the old one has to deteriorate,
like, yeah,
to expire.
And so I don't know if that's what this is like, this is part of the new system as the old one's dying or what. But I'm going to share my experience, and I'm going to share the websites and the information that I have, and I hope it's helpful to people. So if you're interested,
if you want to support the lovely Light Queen Lisa, there should be a link below in the description. You can join her Patreon and, you know, support what she does and hop in there and join that discussion and listen. I mean, watch.
If you'd like to. I'm just doing it kind of a small group at first, because it's kind of interesting. It's kind of, some people still don't believe me. And I'm like, well,
worked for me.
Yeah, you can try. You can try for yourself. Because we even went and looked at other situations that were similar, and the same thing was there for those situations. So it's very interesting.
Have it. Real life experience.
Once again, but everybody has to listen and do for themselves. This is where, like, you know, the whole no one's coming to save you.
Correct.
You have to save yourself. Like all the information's out there. All these sayings, all these Q sayings and all this, like, to me, all these apply to that. So like, all the information's out there, but you have to save yourself.
You got to take that step.
So if you need some help, I'm happy to share my experience, but you have to do it for yourself.
Yep.
Anyway, hope everyone is going to have a great weekend. If you are in the Greenwood area or near Fort Smith, Arkansas, please stop by Funky Finds. We're going to have $1 days in the parking lot on Saturday and on Denver Street. And not just our booth, but we're going to have tables. Yeah, but some of the other people there as well. So
and then spiked lemonade, for a couple bucks. And no,
there's no alcohol allowed in the entire town because.
Oh, really? It's dry?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's not dry.
You got to sign the little thing and.
Nope. That's not allowed. The lady who owns the private bank here is Baptist, and she buys up all the liquor licenses every year for the whole town. Serious? I'm serious. So that no one can drink in the whole town.
Oh my goodness.
It's a whole thing.
I think they're waiting for her to die.
What the frick?
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Bottoms up.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, she's very nice, but she's
just doesn't see things the same way as everybody.
Infringing on my freedom.
Right.
So now we have to drive how many minutes?
Well, yeah. The closest liquor store is, Mom's like, it's all the way out of town. I was like, Mom, it's literally 5 miles.
Yeah, but I get it.
I know you do.
I get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to town and I go 7 miles down the road and it's like, oh, why do I have to?
I know. It's so funny to me. All right. Love to you all. Thanks, you guys, for joining us in the chat. Westwood, are you doing a Spaces tonight?
I might. It won't be colored with music. I'll be in the house. And so it's not going to be the regular flair that I was into before, just because I won't be hanging out in the bar. But I might do a little Spaces, just have some conversation. I enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. I think I will.
Does. Enjoy it.
Okay. I enjoy everybody.
Yeah.
Love you.
Looking forward to that. So everybody, make sure you check out Westwood's links. Go to westwood.net for all the information about the meetup. Follow him on Twitter. Follow his YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, and follow Mom at CryptoNana for LTC on Twitter for some great tweets and information. All the crypto, and you will get red pilled or orange pilled. I don't know, but certainly not black pilled. All right. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Love to you all. Let's see. Where's the good one?
End it.
I don't like the government right now. You don't have to. I don't trust it anymore.